May everyone be welcome to The Demon's Hand, a game where you play with a stranger to bring back some memories. Now, in case you didn't know, this is a game inside another game. That's League of Legends. And also, it has a self contained story, so you don't have to know anything related to that game in order to understand this one. But if you are only here for the gameplay, you can skip ahead and don't watch the cutscene. But in simple terms, the story basically is about a human that turns into a demon and then finds someone that they think they know. And to help them remember, they play a table game. And if you're wondering why the text is in Spanish, it's because I aim to make this channel as much as from learning English to Spanish as learning Spanish to English. So basically, this will be like educational. You'll see vocab words popping here and there, but it won't be anything too on the nose. It's just going to be like as an aid rather than just making everything about it. So now that that is out of the way, we can focus on playing the game and learning a few words along the way. So get comfy, grab something to eat, something to drink, relax, put on some background music if you like. Yeah. And I'll be explaining along the way why I make some plays and about some of the mechanics revolving around the game. So the game has three difficulties, but to unlock the harder ones, you first need to beat the story mode, right? The first one. So, in case you aren't familiar with poker hands, basically you shuffle around the deck until you get a rare combination of cards. So, on the left, we have a book where you can see the rarest combinations. So, basically, a lone card, it's called high card. If you get two of the same, it's a pair. If you have two pairs, or if you have three of a kind. So, the rarer the combination of cards is, the better, the more points it gives, the stronger it is. And as you can see, we got four of the same. That's called a poker, and it's the third strongest card combination. So how do you win in this game? Basically, each round, it's like you're battling against an enemy, and you have to defeat it by scoring a certain amount of points. In this case, you can see that the opposing thing has 200, and since we score 400 points, we immediately win the battle. And each time we win a battle, we gain gold, and we move on to the next battle. Now for how we can lose this game is each time a certain amount of hands we play. For example, in this case, you can see a 1 next to the enemy. That means that every time we play a hand, we're going to get attacked. And the amount of that attack is equal to 4, because that's what the number says. So if our HP hits 0, right now it's at 100, we're out. Another thing to note is that each enemy has a distinct gimmick. In this case, I cannot see some of my cards, but it doesn't really matter because for some reason there's like a bug and you can still see what each card is. So we finish off the battle with a full house and a pair. So now we have arrived at our first shop, and you can see that everything has a distinct price, and well, the more expensive something is, the more powerful the effect is. But in this case, we can use the cheapest one because it has a lot of synergy with our deck. Because it gives us 100 extra points each time we score a straight, which is 5 cards from the same symbol. It's one of the easiest hands to obtain in the game. Basically, it turns a hand that would normally score 125 points into a hand that scores 225 points. So at this point of the run in the match, you'll basically see me going every time for a straight because it has synergy with the sigil. And you can see how powerful it is because we just end the battle in one turn. So now we arrive at our first tent. It's like a checkpoint where we can heal some of the HP we lose along the battles. And it's also a place where we get a bit of like lore drops about the history surrounding the game. So yeah, if you're really interested in the history, the story behind the game, I recommend you play it yourself. But for now, we'll keep focusing on the battles and the different gimmicks that each enemy has. So for this one, we cannot use cards that has the sun symbol, and you may also notice that we drew a purple card. So what those cards does is that each time one of those score, we get a boost in our total score. It will be more important later on when you need more points to beat each enemy. So another thing to keep in mind is that just because you are at a shop, it does not mean that you have to spend your gold. So a fair strategy is to just not take anything and keep going. And furthermore, we're at a point where we have two pets. We can choose to fight a stronger enemy if we want better rewards for the late game. And basically, they're almost required if you want better odds at winning the game. And as you can see, this is the toughest battle we have had until this point. It has 600 HP and 14 attack. So yeah, you can see the difference in strength. Another point to make is that HP is also a resource. So sometimes you have to take damage and you don't have to be afraid of taking damage. It's just another resource. If you have some to spare, just use it, just take the damage and play for a better hand later on. So yeah, another thing with the sigils is that you can see that they're color coded. In this case, the red ones are related to scoring points, the blue ones are more to like general effects, and the orange ones are related to economy. In this case, we grabbed orange sigil that makes each discard that we don't use give us money at the end of the battle, and the blue sigil makes us hold an extra card in hand. So instead of 8, we have 9 now, which makes it easier to score more straights. So you may have noticed the number to the bottom right corner. that 5% is the probability of us drawing a purple card, a critical card. It's what it's called. So that's one of the rewards that beating tougher enemies give us. In this case, we had a 2% at the start of the run, but after beating that harder enemy, we now have a 5%. Now, the game basically consists around 3 loops. Each loop is starting from one side of the board and making it to the other side. In this case, this is like a boss battle. So it's the toughest enemy of the loop, and after beating it, we'll start all over again, making the difficulty increase once more. Now, at this point, I was looking for a straight, but luckily we got a straight flush, which is basically having 5 consecutive numbers from the same symbol. I don't think it mattered all that much, but it's the second strongest hand, so it was really lucky that we got it there, well, because we prevented a lot of damage. So you can see that after beating the boss, we also get to talk a bit more with the person in front of us before resetting the loop and starting all over again. We arrive at the North shop, and you can see that we have green sigils. These are more leaning towards a defensive playstyle, reducing damage. But we take the riskier path by choosing the blue sigil that gives us 5% extra chance of drawing critical cards. So yeah, at this point you basically know everything you need to know about the game, and it's pretty straightforward. You just keep repeating the loop of battling, getting stronger, beating the boss, and then doing it over again. So from this point onwards, I'll just leave you be if you want to keep watching, or if you just wanted to know how the game worked. That's basically it. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the video, or if you just want to skip ahead and watch the final boss and see how I beat it, that's fine by me. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and all that kind of stuff people do with videos nowadays. I'll catch you on the next one. Okay.
So,
Um,